It's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you for joining me again today for a global monthly video hop. There are a few of us taking part in this video hop. We've got the links below in my description bar, so do go and have a look at everybody else's videos as well. We have a theme this month of love, so I am going to be using the Parisian Blossoms suite because it's gorgeous and it's from the new January to June mini catalogue. Do remember, if you don't have a copy of this, just go over to my website. If you're in the UK, click on the catalogue tab and fill in the request form there, and I will get one off to you. It's huge. There are two bundles, so there's the Forever Blossoms and the Parisian Beauty bundle. There is an embossing folder, specialty paper, beautiful petal pink ribbon with champagne metallic edges and champagne rhinestones. These are the stamps in large format, along with the dies, and they're both available at bundle price, which of course saves you 10% on the total cost. Now, for once, I have not done a sample, so I've kind of prepared some, but I didn't want this to be a really long video. So let me start at the back and move forwards. So I'm going to start with a petal pink card bank, and I've done the long thin version. I'm just going to grab some scrap paper and get my inside done before I forget. So I'm using petal pink and pool party because those are the two colours in the designer series paper. There's also champagne and cherry cobbler, but I'm going for these pastel shades. If you watched the video I did, let me just get, oh no, I've got it coming up. Tomorrow I've got a video coming up with the Forever Blossom set. So I'm just going to pop the Eiffel Tower stamp in the bottom left hand corner like that, and then I'm going to grab more and a small block and just pop that. I'm tempted actually to snuggle it in somewhere. No, maybe not. I'll pop it up here. So amour, or love. So that is actually all the stamping I'm going to do. So let's pop those to one side so I don't put my fist on them. So I'm going to just adhere this to the inside of my card base. Make sure I've got it the right way around. If I ever get to the point where one side is slightly longer than the other, I will make that the front. It just makes the card easier to open. So if you do ever fold your card and it's not quite in half, just make sure that you put the larger piece at the front, and it actually is not a bad idea. And then it looks more meant. So there we go. So that's our inside already done. Let me just press that down well. And I'm going to really make you work for this. So this is my mat. This is a standard size for me. It's 5 5/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to attach that and just pop that down. Aren't I being mean? Not actually showing you what I'm making. So the next thing for me to bring in is a piece of the designer series paper. This was one piece, so all I did was cut a piece out of the middle, and you will see why I did that in a moment. So first thing to do is to stick down the outside piece. Now you could use snail for this, but I'm quite happy to use my liquid adhesive. Just get that reasonably covered. And this is slightly smaller than my normal size. The dimensions will be over on my website, which is linked below. If you just follow the link to the associated blog post, and I will have the measurements for both imperial and metric A4 and also for if you're in North America and you've got your letter size. So your card is a slightly different size from ours. It's shorter and fatter, but I'll have measurements for that as well. Now I'm putting adhesive on the back, or on what was the front and now on the back, and just slip that back into the hole. And then I'm going to bring in, this is a frame cut using the heirloom dies and the matching embossing folder, and that is why I've switched this round and cut. I basically cut this out and then just laid the piece that was being removed onto my designer series paper, drew round it, so I knew that so long as I cut slightly larger than this, this piece would be covered by the frame. So that's just going to go on there. You could pop this up if you want. I'm quite happy with it being flat because the dimension gives it the 3D look that I'm looking for. So I'm going to put adhesive on the pattern, and if I can, without getting myself completely covered in adhesive, just a small amount around the edge, particularly at the corners, and this will just help everything stay in place. Now it does dry, or this adhesive dries clear, so if it does squish out a bit, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so now I've got to turn this over without getting glue everywhere, or everywhere on me anyway. And I also want this to be reasonably square to my card. And by that I mean I want it to be even on these three sides. And then if I've got a bigger piece, which I have, I'm happy to have that at the bottom. It's kind of like the way an Instagram photo looks. So Polaroid photo, those sorts of things. You have the wider bit at the bottom, and the reason for that is because your eye doesn't mind the wide bit at the bottom. Right, now this is going to be fun. I'm going to bring in my craft tweezers for this. I've die cut from champagne foil the little swirl from the die set, and I just want to add a little bit of adhesive in a few strategic places so that it will stick down. Now I tend to concentrate on joints and ends because the joints are big and the ends are likely to get caught. So that's where I tend to aim. And then this, I want to just tuck, if I can. I think this might be one of those famous words, jobs. Let's move my tweezers. So what I want, in fact I want those the other way up. I want to tuck that in there, like that. So I want that swirl to sort of be in the middle of the frame, slightly to the left, but basically in the middle of the frame. And then I've got the outline of the Eiffel Tower. So the die set will cut Merci Amour, the full Eiffel Tower, and outline the fleur-de-lis and the curl. And I've already die cut these because they do take a little while to get all the bits out, and because I've used foil, I didn't really want to use the die brush because that could have damaged the foil, could have scratched the foil, so I didn't really want to use that. And again, I'm just going to put some adhesive in the larger areas, so where things cross and where there's a larger space. You don't need everything to be covered, just, as I say, some strategic places where there's a kind of space where you can put a blob. So maybe there, and there, and there, and there. And then this, I'm just going to pop down there. Of course it's sticking to me, why wouldn't it? And I like to do my press from the back because you're less likely to move things around if you press from the back. And there is our card. Now, just as a finishing touch, I've got some of the champagne gems, and I thought it would be quite fun to add a few of those to our card. Should go for the end of the swirls, I think. So do go and have a look at what everyone has been up to. The girls that are involved in this, and it is just girls, I'm afraid. Well, I'm not afraid, I mean, it is just girls. So they have got some amazing ideas, so do go and have a look and see what they've come up with on the theme of amour. Thank you very much indeed for watching my process. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If this is your first visit and you haven't yet subscribed, if you could hit the subscribe button, you will then know when I am posting again, particularly if you also hit the notification bell. All of the information about sizes, close-up photos and all of that good stuff will be on my blog, which is linked below. It's the link saying the associated blog post. Do remember, if you're in the UK and you would like to shop with me, I would be thrilled for that as well. And remember, during Celebration, for every £45 you spend, you get to choose free items from the Celebration catalogue. So, yeah, good stuff. Thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks a lot.